just feels good to get back in the win column. And, I'm happy for our players because it's been a lot of doom and gloom around here. And certainly I hadn't been in the best mood, and we've been really demanding, as we should be after the way we played and the way we've been playing. But that said, they've been trying. We pushed them pretty hard yesterday, a lot longer than I've ever pushed them the day before a game. And I thought that they're trying to respond, and they did some nice things. And you saw some of the things that we were working on in practice and talking about in our film session Sunday. You saw some improvement there. So it's good to see some of the things that we value be successful on the court. I think that can help us gain some confidence. And it's good to get back in the win column and get back on the right track. So I'm happy about that. I will say I thought David Julius was phenomenal tonight. I mean, we've been asking so much of him as an offensive player, doing so many things to him, putting him in so many positions where he has to go make a play when we're broken down with not a whole lot of advantage. And tonight, he didn't have a ton of chances to shoot it, but I thought he really made plays for others when he did have chances, really got others involved. I thought he really was trying to help our team take a step defensively and take a step in the areas that we've been preaching in practice. So I thought just his mentality really showed a lot of leadership tonight, and I was just really proud of him among some others. Odi Iguama was terrific. He was terrific. His activity, his decision-making, and if you told me back in June, after a couple weeks of summer practice, that I'd be praising Odi's decision-making before Christmas, I'd have told you you're crazy. But his decision-making was great. He made some really nice plays in the post with the ball to put the defense in rotation and get us a good shot. And so it was good to see him have some success, because he had some real success early and hasn't played to the standard I think he expects himself to play, or we expect him to play recently. So it's good to see him get back on track tonight. I'm really proud of him. I keep going down the list, but good to see our guys have some success, but those two step out. The third thing I'll say, since I have the microphone here without anybody asking questions, is, man, I don't think we ever spend enough time praising Sam Martin. He's so important to our program. I mean, the guy has more injuries than a prize fighter, man. He's so beat up, and he's played so many years of college basketball, and he comes in and does the scout team every day and gets banged on every day and never says boo. He's a leader in our locker room. He's a really bright young man. I'm so glad he doesn't want to coach, because he's way too smart for that. And he's going to be really successful in business. But the guy checks in, and second possession he's in the game, he puts his chest in front of the ball and takes a charge. And that's just the type of young man he is. And he's way more impactful to our team's success than he gets credit for in games. So I wanted to recognize him as well. All right, questions?
I know you never want to take any opponent lightly, but you kind of referenced working on things in practice and seeing it on the floor. Is that these last 3 games, are you looking at them as a chance to work on some things, get back on track on some things?
I think we're looking at it like that all the time, Justin. I mean, the first goal anytime we take the floor is to put our kids in the best position to win the game. That's always the number one thing. But I think every day we're trying to work, improve, get better, and focus on the things that we value. And, certainly I don't care if we're up 25 or 30 with 5 minutes left. Like that, we're going to still hold ourselves to the same standard. I think you saw I was frustrated there, with us not sprinting back in transition, which is something that we have to significantly improve if we want to continue to improve as a team.
Jared Hensley's seen his minutes slowly starting to increase. Is that a sign that he's starting to maybe put it together and figure some things out for you?
I thought he was really good tonight. I haven't watched the tape yet. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but I thought he was really good tonight. I thought some of his best minutes in a Bearcat uniform. Listen, I knew the day that I recruited Jared Hensley or saw him for the first time, he had a chance to be a really special player. He works about as hard as anybody I've ever coached on a day-to-day basis, and he's a terrific young man. He is improving at a pretty rapid rate, and he's starting to get some confidence, and I think he can help this basketball team. So yeah, I think we're trying to get him in there and get him more minutes and give John some blows.
You mentioned Odi earlier. With how he played today, did you guys kind of challenge him after Saturday, or did he just kind of take advantage of the opportunity?
No, I just think Odi works every day. has a motor every day. I think Saturday, I mean, he fouled out in 6.5 minutes, I think it was. I'm out 7 minutes. I don't know the exact time, but it wasn't many. And I think Odie was really frustrated, you know, and it wasn't for lack of effort out there. He's playing his tail off. Odie always plays hard. And so I just think, listen, it doesn't always happen when we want it to happen, but if we keep working at it, it generally happens. And, you know, it's good to see good things happen to Odie because, boy, he works at it.
JD was 2 for 8 from 3, but 5 for 7 on 2-point field goals. Is that a focus for you or him, trying to get him to score different areas on the floor?
Yeah, I think JD has some real offensive ability. That's no secret. I think trying to continue to find ways to put him in position to take advantage of his ability and give him the best opportunity to make a good play is something that we've been working on since day one. I think we got to continue to put him in better action. And then when we break down, JD's got to do a better job, and he knows this, of making the right play, you know, so he's not putting himself in difficult positions. And I thought in the second half he really did that. You know, I thought in the first half, you know, it wasn't his best half of decision-making, of ball movement, and I thought it looked forced a little bit at times. This is what's so neat about JD. All you have to do is talk to him. And we had a little talk, him and I, on the bench, and man, I thought in the second half he really listened, and he really tried to do what we were asking, and it's neat how the ball found him and how he looked like he was in a better position to score. So that's going to be a continual process, but you know, we know we need Jeremiah to be a great offensive player for our team to be successful offensively, and as coaches, we got to keep trying to do our job to put him in position.
You miss Mason tonight, but AJ comes back. How much are you going to kind of need AJ to step up here?
Yeah, I mean, it's next man up, and I hate what Mason's going through. Mason's been playing through some pain in his hip for a while, which explains, you know, why he's not necessarily been playing, you know, to the standard that we all know he can play to. And so you find out it's something a little more serious than we thought. Nothing serious that's going to be long term, but he needs to get shut down and rest a little bit. Not sure on the length of that. I think we'll kind of reevaluate after a couple days. But when that stuff like that happens, it gives other people opportunity. And I think AJ, just coming off this ankle injury, did a really nice job with some of the opportunity he had and some of the minutes he had. I mean, he turned it over the first possession he got in, but after that, I thought he was pretty good.
The rebounding numbers are obviously better tonight. Did you see more of what you want in that area?
Keith, I'm really frustrated with our defensive rebounding. I mean, I can't tell you. I've thought about defensive rebounding and the way we're coaching it and the way we're drilling it and the way we're showing film and the way I've thought about it in ways I've never thought I would have to think about it before. I mean, it is an Achilles heel of our team at the moment, and we have the talent and the ability to correct it, and we have the willingness within our locker room. We have great guys, and they want to do it right. We got to get it corrected. I think we need all 5 pursuing every ball. You know, we just don't have 1 or 2 guys in every lineup that are going to clean the glass. I mean, some teams have that luxury. We don't have 2 NBA defensive rebounders out there in every lineup that we play. So we have to do it collectively. And I think we got to get our guards more involved in our defensive rebounding. I think our bigs are taking on a huge load. They got to do better. But I think we got to get those 3 perimeter players back and have 5 guys pursuing the ball. And we're working at it every day. There was a lot of possessions tonight I was frustrated with that. There was a couple that were good. And so I think we can show the good ones and say, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like, and show the times we did and go, hey, we still got a lot of work to do.
Saw you break out the full court press a couple times, got an early turnover from it. Is that something you want to do more in conference play? Are you getting closer to that?
Man, I miss pressing. I miss it. I miss it like you guys don't believe. I've coached teams for the last 6 years that pressed on every made basket and every dead ball full court for 5 or 6 straight years, and I just loved the mentality of it and the fact that people had to deal with it. And we're going to get to that here. It's going to be a slower process because there's so many other things that we have to do. So it's been put on the back burner a little bit, but we're going to be doing more and more of that as we move forward.
One more question. As far as all your bigs kind of play about the same types of time frame, minutes-wise, how do you kind of manage that throughout the game? Is it more by matchup, or is it just kind of who's playing the best hand at the time? Or?
Yeah, we're trying to get them all real opportunities in the first half. And we've been trying over the first 10 games to figure out our best combinations. And we've tried lots of different combinations. And so this is a conversation that's happening in our offices every day. And we're evaluating it every time we grade the film. So trying to figure out the combinations, the minutes, and all that kind of stuff, it's been a challenge. But I think it also, as I've said, this can be a strength of our team, is our depth in the front court. You know, in the second half, we probably have done more of, you know, kind of how the game's going, the best matchups on the floor, who's playing the best, and that's kind of how the minutes can vary. And if you've looked at our team over the last 10 games, certain guys on certain nights have played big-time minutes in the front court, and then maybe on other nights they're not, and that's kind of how we've handled it to this point, because all 4 of those front court players, I think, have the ability to be starters or to be 25-minute-a-game guys, but on certain nights other guys are doing a better job than others, and so we're trying to manage it. And the neat thing, guys, is all 4 have been so willing to kind of accept that style and that role, and that's made it fun for me as a coach. It's a special group of guys in the front court there. And then big picture, you know, Jeremiah Davenport's a 3. He's a small forward in college basketball, and we have to continue to work to get him there, and that frees up some minutes for those other guys in the front court too.
All right, thanks, Coach. All right, we're gonna have our players coming to the floor.